Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. How's it going? It's Coach Alicia here with AI Automation Buddy out here walking my little dog. And so wanted to chat with you about AI. So I had the question on, how to get started with AI, specifically here in the gym space. So before I dive into that, wanted to just talk a little bit about my story and how I got into AI so then it can all make sense for you. So, when COVID hit, unfortunately, I had to shut down my gym. After 15 plus years, had to pivot rather quickly to just start making income because, being shut down for so long, having a family, you need to be able to start generating income fast, right? So what I did is I went down the rabbit hole on Google and was typing in like, what's the next best thing? And, crypto, blockchain was coming up. And then this thing called AI. And I didn't even know what it was. I'm like, what is AI? Well, let me backtrack. When I think of AI, I thought of Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Like you see these movies with artificial intelligence, but it was so bizarre and wild. I'm like, how can this help me, right? Long story short, I went down that rabbit hole. I learned, I've already had crypto. I was into crypto. I love crypto. But I decided to dive into, learning and teaching myself about blockchain, about AI. And I start utilizing an AI software. I think it's called Jasper now. But basically, I just started typing in things and this thing would spit out like just crazy, like if I was creating courses, because normally when I would create courses, I'd have to create all the content, I'd have to do research. And what I found, because people during COVID, personal trainers had to get online, they had to create courses, they had to create landing pages. And so that's what I dived into. I started creating, all these different courses and landing pages and, items for people to get online quickly and start making money. Because like I said, the fitness industry, man, we were hit hard. And so having to pivot, get those people online, that's what I did. And I used this tool, AI tool, to start helping trainers, like I said, create courses, landing pages, yada, yada, get them online. And then I start working with influencers. And so I start finding influencers that in the space that, again, had to really go hard, all in on creating online content. And so I became, a social media marketer for these influencers. Basically, I was their voice and I was producing content at a quick speed. So it's almost like I had a team and it was just myself doing it. So, I could spit out emails, I could spit out, landing pages, websites, all the copy, and AI was my tool. It was my team. And so I've been in this AI game for a long time. And so, since COVID, just learning AI, teaching myself, and man, it has been a world of opportunity. Meaning that I'm a very creative person. I love to create and I love data. And for me, data is just, if you can organize data and find ways to make something better, oh man, AI is just a game changer. And so this leads to this conversation. So with that message, someone asked, like, where do I start, right? So if you're a gym owner, if you are not diving into AI yet, you're going to be left behind. Man, this is the future. Like I said, I've been doing this for years and I can't even keep up with the pace that it is rapidly expanding. So for example, I build AI voice agents, chatbots. I've done, I taught myself how to work N8N, make automations. I've dove into all that stuff. And now with Claude, it's growing so quick. And here's what I can say to you guys. You're going to get overwhelmed because there's so much info out there now. Now everybody's teaching about AI. When I first came in the space, there were very few people that, had great knowledge that I would be following. But now it seems like everybody's talking about AI. And so what we're seeing is people getting just so confused, not knowing where to begin because there are just so many things to do. And so what I recommend to you is pick your lane. What is the biggest problem right now in your gym that you are trying to solve? Okay, think about that one question for a second. Whether you're an online coach or you are a gym owner, what is the main problem? Think of your biggest problem, your biggest issue. Where are you struggling? Find the problem, then utilize AI to help you with that problem. Now, there's lots of debate out there. Which large language model is the best? Pick one. I have my favorites, and I use multiple ones because sometimes, they put out different results. But for you, pick one. And if you want, I can recommend, I would say Claude or ChatGPT. I'm just going to say those. There's a lot of great ones. But for now, to keep it simple and not overwhelm you, that's my job, is that, in being in this field, my mission is to just really help people understand AI. My niche is gyms, right? However, too many people are just overwhelmed by it. They don't know where to begin. They don't know which one to use because everybody's saying this one's better. This one's better. You can do this. You can do automations. You can create video content. You can create landing page, blah, blah, blah. AI can do so much, but what happens when you dive down every hole to come up with an answer, you're just going to be overwhelmed. So my recommendation, pick your biggest problem, solve that problem, go deep on that problem, and utilize AI to help you. And know this, AI is a teacher. I have taught myself. I went to UC Berkeley. Luckily, my education was paid for. But, what it can teach you, you're not going to have to, depending on what field you're in. But if you want to learn marketing, you want to learn how your business is winning, how it's losing, data, it is a crazy amazing with data. Utilize AI to help and teach you. And if you don't know where to begin, just pick one large language model. Like I said, go into Claude or go into ChatGPT, ask them, give them your problem, give it your problem, and it will spit out answers for you. And then if you need clarifying questions, ask the questions. It's just ask, and it will teach. And that's the beauty of this. You guys, if you want to learn more about AI, specifically in the gym space, guys, I love doing this. I'm a coach at heart. I want to coach people. So let me know if you have any questions. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.